அழைத்திடவோ அருள்மலை மருந்தாயோடி அருணாச்சலா
மானம் கொண்டொரு பவன் மானத்தை அழித்த பின் மானமில்லாதோரே அருணாச்சலா
பின்கிழிக்கும் பஞ்சலியம் பஞ்சியாளருடனே அருணாச்சலா
இல்லாமல் ஆராட்டலைகளம் ஆறாமல் காத்தருள் அருணாச்சலா
முடியடி காணா முடிவிடுதனை முடிவிட கடனிலை அருணாச்சலா
மூக்கிலன் முன்காட்டு முகுரமகாதனை தூக்கியனை தருள் அருணாச்சலா
மெய்யகத்தின் மனமின் மலரணையில் நம்மை கலந்திட வருள் அருணாச்சலா
Maybe we phase it out because there's a lot of disturbance that's coming along with that.
Father, your volume is very low.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can phase it out because there's a lot of this. Oh, is it because of you? Namaste, namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Muji ji ki jai. So for those few of you who might still be on Ustream, I'm going to post the Hangout link. I feel Google event, isn't it? Lizal is saying something, but she's on mute.
Sorry. We post the Hangout link on Ustream, Father. Do you want me to post it, or will you post it?
I did. I just did. Was it not visible?
I'm not there, so I can't see.
Oh, okay. No, I just posted it, so that should be fine.
Okay, thank you, Father.
So now, if there, then what we could do is there is an app called Q&A, and most of the viewers should have access to that app now. Even if you're not in the Hangout, you should be able to post your question. Yeah, I see the questions as well. Very good. And if you are in the Hangout, ask. So yesterday this contemplation was happening here, and I realized that the person's idea of life is moving from one story to another story. Just one story gets replaced by another story, and all we are doing is looking for that glorious ending, where we end up as God. The person wants to ultimately be, and that is what the person's idea of progress is. So it hopes that every story is better than the previous one. So we've just been moving stories one from one to another, from child to teenager to adult to now spiritual seeker to wanting to become God. And mute Vivi. Oh, Ishwari. The cell phone that is ringing. It's okay. It's okay. Very good. So we go to another story. That is the challenge with the satsang, isn't it? The challenge with satsang is that I am not giving you another story. There is no story I am giving you that you can replace any story with. You cannot now replace the story of I am a person or I was a person with I am God. You see? And with this, what could happen is that to the mind it seems too abrupt. The problem is when I say freedom now, to the mind it seems too abrupt. So it says, but what happened? Nothing changed. My life should be better. I should have a halo around my head. Something needs to happen for me to proclaim this freedom. But when I say that you are already free, then what could happen? What needs to happen? If you have already only been this, then what could happen? You could have this proclamation now. And that is why Advaita is so unpopular. It's so unpopular. In India especially, if you were to just do some puja or bhajans or something like that, there would be many people collecting in this room. But here, because we are saying that I have no story to offer you, your old story will not get replaced by a new story. Then what is here for the mind? What is here for the ego? So we've all heard, many of us have heard Mujiji say this, isn't it? You heard him say, who are you without your story? Who am I without my story? So this question is very auspicious, I feel. Because very subtly we still continue to pick up some stories. And the story of the awakened being is very attractive to some. The story of my awakening, that when I awakened, is very attractive to some. Even this story is not required. So can we be without our stories? What are we without our stories? Because they are just stories. And the mind loves stories, you see. So if I were to say actually in today's satsang that, okay, what we have been speaking about so far is just 10% of what the truth is. Mhm. So far, it was just the teaser, it was just the sampler. The true thing is that there is something much more. There is something much more that all of you will see. Then something will get attracted to that, isn't it? Oh, there's more. Okay, okay. But when I say that there is nothing, there is nothing. Hmm? Most of you will feel, oh, that's it. Some of you might feel relieved also. That's okay. But many of you will say, oh, I wish there was something more to this story, isn't it? This is the mind's old tendency, one of the primal tendencies to get attracted towards storification. And I was jokingly saying yesterday that we are so used to writing the story of this dream character, isn't it? And when in this kind of satsang we say, stop writing, then we say, most of us say, but, I was just at the end, you see, just I was near this end and the end was going so beautifully. I was close to seeing God, I was close to becoming God, and you say, stop. I don't know whether this is the right satsang for me. Why you want me to stop right now? So if we stop right now, no more stories. Then if this is not freedom, then what is? Hmm? This moment is what we have been looking for. And actually the fact is that even this we have not been looking for. Because another thing I want to tell you is that no matter what happens, no matter what happens. So let's take an example. Suppose you said that I am going to make sure that I am in the hangout today. I'm going to come in early and click in time, and I will make sure I'm in the hangout, and I want to be with Ananta in this satsang in the hangout. And somehow when you clicked, your internet went off, or something, the button didn't work. And you're still outside, you're looking at all these beautiful smiling faces, and you're wondering, but I wanted to be there today. And then frustration can come, anger can come. Why is God doing this to me? Maybe Ananta doesn't want me to be there. You see, these kind of things can come. And then more anger. Maybe you say, oh no, this satsang is done. I was happy in the Ustream thing. You know, I should just sign up for another retreat and just this Ananta thing is done for me. It's just not working. So this is just an example of what can happen through the day. It could be anything. You missed your bus, you missed your train, you missed your appointments, you missed anything. Your children didn't get good marks in school. All this could happen. Many things. Body, something can go wrong. Relationship is going to pieces. All the money is run out. All this can happen. But through it all, through all of this, you are only the awareness which is witnessing it. You have never become, nor can you ever become this person. It is just not possible. It is impossible to become the false. Of course, you can pretend. Mhm. And even through the pretense, you're only the awareness itself. So if there were really sides in this, sides between the truth and false, I am convinced that I am on the winning side. Because the false can never come into existence at all. Anything could happen, anything. You cannot step out of your awareness. You are only the awareness alone. This is the ultimate teaching. This is the true understanding. You are the absolute one. So you see, now the trickster can come and say, but now the appearance should change. Even Ananta spoke about this happy dream, but my dream is not yet happy. You see, first the dream must become without any power. First, the dream will become powerless, and then whatever shows up will seem like the happy dream. Don't expect that first the circumstances will become happy, and then you will say that the dream is now powerless. First, you must see that the dream has no power, and then you will see that all that is appearing is grace itself. Who can step out of awareness right now? Who cannot be yourself? And conversationally, when we say, okay, this happened to me today, I missed the bus, or my relationship is going down, or my body is not doing that well. It is okay to say like this. I don't want anyone to become Advaitin only in language, you see. In fact, it is not required to become Advaitin in language. Because then we are just going around on Facebook and telling people that they don't know anything. This is not what we want the Sangha to become. Only when somebody asks with a sense of openness, tell me, how are you so joyful? How is it that you have so much peace around you? Then your mouth can open on its own and the Guru can speak through your mouth. We're not to use this knowledge to go around with a sword and trying to cut people's heads off. I know and you don't know. See, this jerk was here as well. We've talked about this jerk, isn't it? Adya Shanti speaks about this spiritual ego as the jerk, and this jerk has operated from here as well. And it causes nothing but misery, nothing but suffering. So much grace, so much beauty will flow through your own eyes that beings will come to you and they will say, please tell me how to be free from my suffering. And the response will be available in your heart. Otherwise, silence would be the best response. So remember that no matter what, the circumstances could seem like the worst case scenario, you are still only the awareness alone. The trick would only be if you could become a person and show me. Now that would be something I would be willing to pay for. Hmm. Can you become a person and show me? Very good. You can open it up for questions. Anandi is already saying something. Anandi, you want me to read from there, or would you like to say something yourself?
Namaste, Father. Can you hear
Say, my
me?
dear. Yes, yes.
Thank you. I wanted to share something. I posted a really long comment in the silent space, and I was experiencing a lot of intense physical pain all weekend, and then what happened earlier, I had posted this to the silent space, and after that I just sat and and it just it was just thoughts. So I don't know if there's still something. I wanted to just expose the fear of the body not getting better and the attachment to healing, but I don't know how to say it. When I follow your pointings, it just doesn't matter.
Mhm. Yes. We must never try to understand granularly. I don't know whether that word is understood, but we must never try to understand specifically. There's this big sort of movement around trying to understand the cause of pain. Big sort of movement around what is this. So if I have a pain in my elbow, it means something else. If I have a pain in my back, this means that I'm not open enough. You see, if I have a pain in my knee, what does it mean? If I have a pain in my ankle, what does it mean? We do not need to go so deeply into any of this.
What happened was when I came onto the Hangout, I couldn't remember my question,
Yes.
and I had to try to think what was my question. But I didn't
Just
want, sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
but I didn't want to, I still wanted to expose this. I don't know if I need to or not. And so,
It's very good. It's very good that you come and share what is arising, because sometimes you don't even know what this is for. See, it might not even be for you the answer that comes up. That's very good that you share. So you
and I
see
just,
that you already know this, that it is not the pain which is the problem, you see, but the interpretation that this pain means something. And when we are continuously trying to decipher the meaning of this pain, that is when it can become more and more troublesome.
right. Because even when it's really painful, when I'm not buying the interpretations or the thoughts, it's, the pain is still there, but there's no suffering.
Yes, yes. Isn't that so beautiful?
So beautiful. Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Thank
And also
you.
I say that I never say that now that you are spiritual, your body should not get any pain. That would be a misuse of knowledge to presume this. So don't even have this expectation. Many say that, okay, I'm spiritual now, let the body just be, let it heal itself. I don't even say take it this far. There is something in that, that's okay. That sometimes when satsang fever comes, it's okay to just let it be. But if there's something wrong with the car, then we can take it to the mechanic. It is absolutely fine. The only trouble is when we say that I am the car, that this instrument is me, can be the only cause of suffering. So when we don't buy the interpretation about something happening to me,
Because I felt the thought that was being believed in all this time was just, I want to get better, or I don't want to be in pain. And just that thought was believed in, and then a story was created around that. And just this simple thought, it would replay in my head all day long. I don't want to be in pain. And that wasn't my thought.
no thought ever is yours.
Yes. Yes. But that it seems so subtle that I would just,
Because I don't want the lack of acceptance of what is appearing right now is the ego. When we believe that thought, the thought will try and entice you. When belief is given to it, then that is resistance to what is, which is another name for the ego itself. Freedom does not mean that pain will go away. Does not mean that. I told some of you about the injection I got the other day for vitamin D, isn't it? So my sister-in-law gave me this vitamin D shot. This was 2 weeks ago, and my arm is still paining. Can you imagine? So pain continues. But does it mean anything? It does not mean anything. Mhm.
thank
The
you.
only thing it probably means is that surgeons should not give shots anymore. They should stick to surgery. Love you so much.
I love you.
So the point is that even in all of this, even when you're shouting, the mouth is screaming, ow, ow. Even in all of this, you are only the awareness which is witnessing even this. So awareness is really so far from any of these experiences. There can be no commonality between the experiences of this body and awareness. At best, we can say that it is beingness itself who is doing all of this, and beingness itself who is experiencing all of this. And awareness is just the pure witness of even this experiencing, completely untouched by even any of this. Nobody can testify that some pain, even the worst pain, actually went and touched awareness in some way. This awareness is what we are speaking of. So you had said in the appearance, it seems the physical pain in the eyes continues to get worse. And what is the car mechanic saying about this?
I'm getting testing for autoimmune. The eye auto mechanic, they don't know. But I think I found a eye solution. A client told me about that might work. That might help with the abrasions on the eyes.
I see. You
Sorry,
actually
that was
remind
too
me
much.
every time you do this eye thing, you know, I'm reminded of.
Of Mujiji?
Yes, yes. With him too, you know, every 10 minutes he has to put those drops.
It's just when the rest of the body ends up getting ill
Yes.
as well. So, but
You know, even if the worst was to happen to the body, even if the worst was to happen to the body, we would still be one.
yes, yes, yes.
So let all of this come if it has to. Let all of this come if it has to. It is only showing you what you are not.
Yes, really is such a blessing. Father, thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Love you, thank you.
Love you too. Love you too. Okay, let's check if something is happening. Yes. Kapil says, have we shifted from Ustream? Don't see anybody here. Yes, yes. More or less. More or less. Maybe one of us can get in touch with Kapil to let him know if he's not been following the chats, how to log into this. Rizal, thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions. And the chat, Jyoti said, Namaste Ananta ji, Jyoti here. Yes, I see you, my dear. So happy. See, both the sisters happen to be next to each other, at least for me. Actually, they are. One is still in the US and one is in Bangalore.
Ask a question.
Oh, Mike or Zoe, you have a question?
Is that Mike?
Yes, yes.
Hi, Ananta. How are you?
I'm very good. And how about you?
Good, good. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to hear you.
Same, same. So good.
I wanted to ask. Maybe it's a little bit more of a story than a question, but I think I'll come to it.
Yes.
When I started on this little journey and listening to Regina, listening to you, reading some books on Ramana as well, I guess the catalyst was my depression, and I was hoping to find a way to live without depression not by taking drugs or whatever else, but by, I guess, understanding myself more. I was pretty determined, might be the word, to do it myself, as it were. And whilst I still have troubles, I am a lot better than what I was months, even weeks ago. I'm really finding that I have tools that I can work with that really help me kind of exist normally, maybe on a day-to-day basis. I guess where I've got to now is I didn't really know what I was getting into. I didn't have a destination. There wasn't an end goal other than the one that I told you. Interest has been piqued, and I'm moving further, but there's questions or misunderstandings maybe that I probably didn't think would come along before. I was kind of happy, just being happy, as it were, and I thought, well, that'll do. But now it seems that there's more. So one of the big ones for me that I really kind of get caught up on and then probably get annoyed about, feel like I'm falling behind, is this idea of the person, and that you are not a person. And I read about it, I hear about it, and absolutely, totally confused and not understanding what it's about, basically. And I feel that I feel like I want to understand that at least to a point, so I can relax and keep moving forward, I guess.
This is very good. Very happy you say this, because you have resisted some peer pressure, isn't it? All of us keep talking about this, and it seems like the most obvious thing. They always say you are not a person, and everybody seems to get this. And I'm so happy that you're able to ask with so much integrity and honesty. This itself is very good. See, why do we say person? You must have heard Regina or any other Course in Miracles teacher or anybody else, or maybe even Bhagwan, talk about the ego, isn't it? So what would happen initially when I would say ego, then everybody would say, yeah, I spot it. I see the ego, and the ego is leaving now. You see? It's very easy to create distance from the ego. Everybody says, I am becoming free from the ego now. I am free from the ego now. Because the ego seems like a negative connotation, and it's easy to say that I am no longer egoistic. You see? So when I used to use the word ego, then it's used to create this false target of taking the negative aspects of who we believe ourselves to be and creating a sense of distance from this. So egoistic would mean that very arrogant, very something angry or something like that. Our mind would paint this picture of ego, and then you say, okay, I'm not arrogant, and therefore I'm not egoistic. That's what most people would hear when we would say ego. So then we realize that it is better to use the term person. Instead of saying ego, actually it means the same thing, but instead of saying ego, it is better to say person. Because the rare one only says that I have seen that I am not a person. Most will say I am not the ego, but only a rare one says I am not a person. But actually it means the same thing. The Course also, Regina, everyone talks about this idea of separation, that I am the separate one. So when we say person, person itself implies that one who is separate from the rest and has a sense of individuality about it. So we say, where is this individual separate one? See? And at best what you can do initially is say that I see this body is separate, So this body, my body is separate from Zoe body, therefore I must be separate, isn't it? That is the mind's initial response. But then I say, if you look at your last 10 problems, how many of them were purely related to the body? You see? So when you say, I have a problem with my manager, I don't have enough money in the bank, I have this problem with my partner, none of this has to do with the body. So in that case, then who are you referring to?
Mm.
then you are referring to the idea of Mike, the person that you have always believed yourself to be. This idea of Mike, this mental belief is the ego or the person. You see? So that is why we use the term person, so that it seems more applicable to all of us rather than just to say the ego. Now, how does this person come into being? How does it never really comes into being, but how does it seem to become real? It seems to become real because belief has been given to thought. See? So in the course, it is also said that this tiny mad idea came and the Son of God forgot to laugh. You might have heard this before. So what happens is that this tiny mad idea is actually any thought, because all thought is referring to you as a separate one, as a person. There is no thought which is saying that you, one being, or you, one awareness, must do this. Okay? It is always saying you, Mike, or you, the person, must do this or must not do this. So all that we do here in Satsang is investigate whether this one that the ego is talking to or the mind is talking to, whether this one has any existence at all or not. Okay? So if you were to look and you can find a single attribute that can prove the existence of this separate individual, of this separate person, then I'd be very happy to see. An attribute which is not imagined, an attribute which is not conjured up by the mind. Okay? So our belief right now is resting on this separation which has no evidence or proof.
So the person is, you could say, more a collection of memories, of ideas, or whatever comes together to fabricate the person or the ego, I suppose. Is that, am I understanding?
Yes, yes, perfectly. So we say that the person is only a sum total of all your concepts at this point of time.
Okay.
But it has no tangible existence, even phenomenally. So sometimes what can get confusing for some is when we talk about the unreality of the world, the unreality of the appearance, that it's all an illusion. This can get a bit confusing also for some. So I say that even if you presume that all this is real, suppose the table is real, suppose the computer is real, suppose Zoe is real, everything is real. Even in this realm of reality, can we find this person? We can only find the body, but we cannot find the person who has a problem with relationship, who has a problem with manager, who has a problem with the body reacting in certain ways. We cannot find who is this one that is speaking as thoughts. That's why I say that the person is a secondary level illusion. Even in this realm of illusion or reality, whatever you like to call it, it does not exist. So it's like a daydream which we believed ourselves to be, and we try to operate in this realm pretending to be this daydream character.
Thank you.
This is very good. And also what you can say is that, oh, but there is something here. Okay, I can see. I find no attributes of this person. I find no attributes for this person. But there is something. I am, you see. I am. I can't find evidence of this person, but I am. Then to see this presence, this sense, I am. What is this sense of being? What is this sense of presence? So if I were to say, can you stop being now? If only person was here, actually it is never here, but suppose person was here and you see that there is no person, so you investigate and look, it's just made up concepts, just concepts. So there is no person. Therefore all should vanish. Then if there was no person and the person was all there is, then everything should just vanish, isn't it? But it doesn't vanish because something is here. The presence of being is here. So that's why we say, can you stop being now? Because if I were to say, can you find being, then it seems a little more complex. Oh, is this it? Is that it? But the minute I say, can you stop being, then it becomes clearer, isn't it? No, I cannot stop being. What kind of question is that? You see? So
And then you're talking about witnessing, aren't you?
There's a witnessing of this presence as well, isn't it? So we can go slowly. So what can happen is that when we say, can you stop being now? Then it is seen that being is ever present. So who sees it is the witnessing or the awareness itself. What is seen is the presence of being, which cannot go. It goes in deep sleep. So in the sleep state, you say, I was so sound asleep. You see? And there was no sense of being also. And then the waking state, then this being, when I say, can you stop being? You say, of course not. So it is seen that being is present. So I know I've given you a lot to chew on in this interaction, but at least hopefully you understood what we mean when we say person. When we say person not being there or I am not a person, hopefully that is seen, which itself is actually the end of suffering. The end of suffering.
Thank you, Ananta.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy you asked this question, you see, because many would be scared to ask this. So then, I've seen that no person is here. Right now you are free. Right now you are free. Without even this proclamation. Let me make this proclamation for you. So you are free, but you have the power to pretend to be bound. And how will you pretend to be bound? You will pretend to be bound by listening to your thought. It could be the next thought or the next thought or the next thought. But if you refuse to believe, and it's the easiest effortless thing, to believe is effortful, you see. When we believe our mind, we get tired. And what will happen is that most of the thoughts will be allowed to just go. And what can remain is the most juicy ones, you see. The ones that have pushed our buttons for the longest time. The ones that have been nurtured for the longest time. Those will remain. So for those, don't try to push them away. Don't try to say that now I have understood and these thoughts should stop coming. Don't do that. Don't resist any thought. Let all thoughts come and go. Then the ones that are sticky, then we can inquire into. And those will show you the sections of the photo album that you're most attached to. Did you hear this example when we talked about the photo album and the sections?
I haven't heard this now.
So maybe for anyone who's not heard it, we can also repeat it. So we spoke about the person being a set of concepts, isn't it? So we say that the person is basically this big photo album. And each thought goes in as a photo. Each thought that is believed in becomes part of the person's photo album. You see, this is me. I am honest. I am good. I am this. I am that. I am a father. I am a captain of a ship. All these photos go into this photo album. And then, if you were to try and look individually and say, okay, each one I will now get rid of. This could be a lifetime project. And we don't believe in lifetime projects. We believe in 2-minute noodles. You see? So what we say is that throw away the entire photo album. Throw away the entire photo album. And many will come back and say, oh, to throw away the entire one seems a little difficult. It seems a little difficult to throw away everything at one shot. You see? Then I say that, okay, throw away in sections. And what are the sections? Each portion of our identity, we have a few key aspects to our identity. You see, it could be father identity, it could be work identity, it could be partner identity. All of us feel like we are very, evolved, complex beings, but actually we have just 4-5 key sections which are common to most beings. So what we say is that throw it away section by section. Just throw it away section by section. So what is the connection between sticky thoughts? The sticky thoughts will point us to the sections which are strongest attachment to us, for us. There will be some portion of the identity which is the strongest, stickiest thing which still hangs on. So basically what it means is that you are saying, I know that there is no person here. I have seen just a set of concepts. Just a set of concepts. But worker identity, but I'm still a worker. You see, basically that's what's happening. So there's this contradiction. Or the mind will create a separation. It will say, okay, all this is fine for satsang, but when you come to the real world, you see, it says real world. When you come to the real world, then you have to steer your ship. You as a person has to do something. It is not true. The person cannot do anything because it does not exist. Does this mean that action will stop? It will not stop. The same one who has been doing it all along will continue to do it. So the person is always post facto, you see. A thought comes and we say it was my thought. In the same way, action happens and we say it was my action. That's why we've taken it from the root and chopped it off. If you refuse to believe your next thought, then none of this, you need to even understand separately, you see. Doership, choice, free will, that can take many lifetimes to understand. Then you have other concepts which could just become, about being or awareness or all of that. So you say we're keeping it very simple. Just become free from your suffering. That's what is critical, what is important right now is to just let go of these thoughts and all the knowledge, all the insights will flow on their own. There is no way that this knowledge will be kept from you if you are free from suffering. So it is as simple as saying you cannot suffer without believing your next thought. Even when strong, you see, they say it's chemical reactions or whatever, something is happening in the body and some moods seem to come or some darkness seems to come. Unless we are believing a thought about it, it will just come and go. It will all just come and go and you will find that you were untouched by this play of darkness and light. But if you say that, okay, now I've been in satsang, but still the darkness is coming, something is not working, then you start resisting it like this, you see. In that you give it power, you give it more reality. Let all just come and go. You are the untouched witness of all.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Does anyone else want to say something or ask? Anything Marta wants? I feel that there's a nice clip in this. There's a nice highlight to be made in this question because it just didn't occur to me. I've been using this term person for so long, about 7, 8 months now, without almost ever referring to it as the ego, isn't it? So many might have this confusion, what is this person thing that we speak about? So maybe we can make a small highlight of this explaining this and publish it, it will be helpful. Our Seva warrior is putting up her thumb. Again, to do this, Lizelle, very good. So, is someone going to sing? So unless there's a question, should I check on Ustream as well once? So all those who are still on Ustream, I see 4 or 5 of you are still there. We are mostly going to move to Google Hangouts now so that we can have this more direct interaction, and anyone who has a question can come on the virtual hot seat now and ask. I feel it is very good like this. Yes, Dr. Kanchan is unmuted, but we cannot hear you still. Still no. No, still can't hear you, my dear. Now you're on mute. Okay, now try now. No.
I've put her volume up further, but she keeps muting herself.
Yes, she's trying to toggle between mute and unmute because
Yes.
either way.
Yes.
No, we still don't hear you, my dear. Try, just unplug the mic and try.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. So clearly your mic does not work.
Okay. I just want to ask. You said one should not. One should. From all what I heard up till now, it looks like we have to just be in this moment.
Yes.
We, I, I should not allow my attention to go to the future nor to the past. And to just live in this moment seems a little difficult.
Yes, but I did not say that attention cannot go to past or future. Attention will go, because if I give you a project and say keep attention right now, then how long will it happen? You can do it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The accomplished yogis will be able to do it for half a day, maybe something like that. So attention is also free to jump around wherever it likes. But can you step out of the moment? Can you be
No.
anywhere except this moment? No. Therefore, nothing is
Yeah,
to be
that's
done.
right.
Therefore, nothing is to be done. See, something there is very disappointed to hear nothing is to be done.
I don't know, but I suddenly feel
Our conditioning
like
sometimes becomes like
hanging in.
if if we if we have nothing to do as a seeker, then we feel that we might still be missing something, you see.
Uh,
But you are not
yeah,
missing anything.
I feel like I don't know, like somewhere like I'm in midair, hanging,
And there, yes, yes.
something
This feeling
in
can come.
limbo.
Yes. This mid-air feeling you must get used to, because what has happened is that we have started to fly now. No? We start to fly. What we have done is we had this earlier. I used to say like this, that we have been holding on to these crutches, believing that they are helping us walk. And these crutches were our thoughts. These crutches were our sense of doership. Now we know that what is being said is to let go of all of this. Yeah, no doer, no thoughts. You are not the thinker of your thoughts and nor the doer of your actions. Then it feels like okay, I have no ground to stand on now. And then
Yes.
sometimes even when some suffering comes, it seems like it comes with a sense of relief. Okay, I know at least I am suffering, you see. But here, when there is nothing to hang on to, then initially it can seem a bit unsteady, isn't it? Then we are looking for something to do, something to stabilize. Actually, this feeling of being completely free, floating in midair, is your freedom itself. It's just that it seems a bit unsteady initially, but then you realize that you don't need any crutches. And what you're feeling is midair, you will see is soaring to the heights of your freedom.
I'll have to work it. I have to, now
You
since
don't
you have
need to
said
do
it,
anything. Nothing. You see? Because with you, what could happen is that you would say, okay, let me make sure that I get deeper into this. Let me stabilize this. And there is some truth in what you say. That's why I have to be little vigilant as to what advice I give you. There is some truth in what you say, but when you say it as a person, that I have to do this or something I have to stabilize, then I say that you don't have to do this. This is happening on its own. Because if I give a person a project to do, it is perpetuating the personal belief, isn't it? So let the one who has been doing everything so far, let the one who has brought you to this point, this moment, let that one take care of whatever needs to be done. There is nothing that God is not taking care of. And if he is not taking care of it, then it will never happen, no matter what the mind wants.
Yes.
So the
It,
the
I,
clinginess to this feeling that I must do something now. This one is sticky for you, you see, and this one must be let go of now.
yes, yes.
The non-existent one has never done anything, nor can it do anything.
I'll have to digest this, assimilate this. It takes a little time to, it has to go in, I have to assimilate
Yeah.
it because it's something like you're pointing out something which I have missed all this while.
The
Could you repeat
words,
it once
the
more?
words themselves, the power from which these words are also coming, will take care of where they are going and their own assimilation. We do not require any intervention from the mind for these words to assimilate. In fact, the mind intervention can only pretend to get in the way, if anything at all. This is openness. This is openness. Let it all flow on its own. And you will see that it was nothing at all. But if you bring some doership into it, even though it might seem very good, you see, it might seem auspicious. So this is the ego pretending to be your friend, pretending to be your ally. Yes, yes, I know that you're giving up on me, but we've been friends for so long. Let me hold your hand till the last step and we'll take it together. It's all lies. Don't buy any concept from the mind. And I know it feels unsteady, it feels like it's a limbo state, it feels like it's little in midair, like you said, you see. But it will not last. This feeling of limbo will not last. This is very good, you see. This is the ego running out of moves. This is the ego running out of moves. There are no moves left, then this silence can come. And there can still be this but and then it goes away. But then it goes away. You see, it can be like that.
So, one last point. Uh, the attention, if it moves away, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Attention will move.
Okay.
You see, if attention never moves, then the waking state would never dawn also. If attention were to stay only in awareness, then how would the waking state appear?
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
How would you even log on to Satsang? You have to give some attention to the screen, you have to give some attention to it. So don't feel that
Yeah.
attention should be. That is not freedom. Freedom, I keep saying, is not this constrictive state, you see. It's not like this, attention also nowhere. So does this look like freedom? It doesn't. Freedom is just free. Leave everything free and then show me the trouble. You want freedom, you leave everything free. Let all thoughts come, let attention move where it wants, let the body do what it wants. That is freedom. Namaste.
He's online. Namaste, namaste. Oh, namaste, sir. Oh my God.
So nice to see
Priyanka
you.
has, Priyanka has come.
I remember, yes. Very nice to see you like this. So freedom, this is for all of you. Freedom means to first give the world also its freedom, isn't it? Let everything go free and then you show me the suffering. Without resistance, there cannot be suffering, you see. Unless you are resisting something, you are not suffering. Leave your attention completely free. Let all thoughts come and go. Let all emotions come and go. Throw away all your shoulds and should nots and could and could nots. See how wonderful this is. So is someone going to sing while we end Satsang today? This is very good. This is one of the best parts of being on Hangout is that someone can sing as well.
Priyanka.
Please sing.
Priyanka is with me.
Yes, Priyanka, namaste. So happy to see you. So what's happening about the singing? Shakti is already swaying to something, so maybe she can sing as well.
Hello, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
I'm always swaying.
Father Zoe says she'll sing.
Zoe also said, okay, very good. So is Shakti going to sing as well?
I'll sing with Zoe.
Yes, both of them can sing. Zoe can unmute her mic.
Yes.
Yes.
She can sing it first.
I don't know if Mike has ever heard her sing before, but here we go.
Shall I sing? Shall I sing, or is Shakti going to sing?
Oh, how about I follow you?
Okay. I just feel to sing this. I don't know why this song is just coming up really strongly in me now, so I'll just sing it. And I was thinking this. My voice has been a bit croaky recently, but I love to sing to you so much. So if you all listen to the love and not to the mistakes, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Om Ganesha, Om Ganapati, Om Ganesha, Om Ganapati, Om Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Ganapati Om 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 Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Om Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Om Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Om Ganesha Om Ganapati 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 Om Om Ganesha Om Ganapati Om Ganesha Om Ganapati
Very beautiful. So blessed to have this beautiful Sangha. You're all my master's gift. Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Mujiji ki jai.
Jai.
Ananta ji ki jai.
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 Now what are we going to do?